Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over this Wood Veneer Hub review. This video is going to be useful for individuals who are deciding whether or not to buy wood slats from Wood Veneer Hub. And so I installed their wood slats about 3 years ago, and I must say that the wood slats are still holding strong 3 years later. I have no regrets putting them up, and because I do a lot of video recording, it really helps with my sound quality. But here are some things that you have to be aware about. Now let's start off with the pros. With Wood Veneer Hub, you do get really high quality wood slats that look professional and modern. Plus, the installation process is pretty straightforward and they provide good instructions. But the downside is that it's definitely an investment and the shipping cost can be pretty high depending on where you live, since wood is pretty heavy and it comes in a bunch of boxes. Now, the biggest cons, or one of the biggest cons, is that although the quality is excellent, you do have to be prepared for the upfront cost and installation time. And what I mean by that is that this isn't a cheap weekend project. You need to measure everything carefully, okay? So some days I love how professional my space looks with the wood slats. Other times I remember how much I spent and wonder if I could have gotten similar results for less money with just buying wood and doing a DIY project. I think the best part about the installation was seeing the immediate transformation, but I also spent a lot of money and more time measuring and cutting the wood than I expected. Other things with Wood Veneer Hub that I really appreciate currently is that the acoustic benefits of the wood slats are really noticeable, especially for me where I do a lot of video recording, and the wood has held up incredibly well, with no warping or damage, and unlike cheaper alternatives that might look good initially, these slats have maintained their appearance and structural integrity over the years. Now with Wood Veneer Hub though, one thing to keep in mind is that you do have to take into account not just the cost of the slats, but also any other tools or additional materials you might need for installation, okay? So while the slats themselves are the main expense, you might need to buy mounting hardware, a circular saw, a jigsaw if you don't already have them. Now with Wood Veneer Hub, there can be some sticker shock when you see the total cost, especially for larger projects. So my recommendation is that you measure carefully and get an accurate quote of how much wood slats you need, because technically what you're buying is just wood that can easily be bought for cheaper at Home Depot. Now, here are my 3 tips for people who want to try out Wood Veneer Hub. First tip is to measure your space multiple times and order the exact amount of slats that you might need, because you want to make sure that the amount of slats that you buy is the exact measurement of what you're placing on the wall. I learned this lesson when I miscalculated and accidentally bought an extra slat, which was pretty costly on my end. Second tip is plan your installation carefully and maybe watch some YouTube video tutorials first, because while it's not rocket science, you do want to make sure you get it right the first time. I spent a good amount of time on watching installation videos, and it prepared me to make sure that I had the right tools in place. Third tip is consider the acoustic benefits if you do any kind of audio recording or video work, because that's honestly been one of the best unexpected benefits. My recording space has improved dramatically after installation. My rule is that if you're not planning to stay in your space for at least like 2 to 3 years, the investment of buying these slats might not be worth it. But with Wood Veneer Hub though, I'd say it's been an excellent purchase overall. The quality is outstanding, and 3 years later, everything still looks and functions perfectly. Wood Veneer Hub customer service was also really helpful during the ordering process, and they answered all my questions about installation. So with that being said, if you're considering Wood Veneer Hub, I'd say just try it out. You won't know until you try it out. But be prepared for the investment and plan your installation carefully. And if you're interested in buying some wood slats, you can check out the link down below in the description. But I hope you found this video helpful, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.